certain there was a compliment in there somewhere, but it was a struggle to keep back the bubble of amused laughter. Her eyes were dancing with it, though, and she looked out the window so he wouldn't think she was laughing at him. "It ain't just the way you smell," he assured her, having been enveloped in the sensual cloud of her expensive perfume since she had entered his cab. "It's the color of your hair. On any other woman it'd probably be called a washed-out brown, but on you it looks blonde. What color do you call it?" "I don't know." Victoria had never had to label it before. It was much too light to be considered brown, and lacked the golden cast to be a true blonde. "Biscuit-colored, I suppose." "Yeah, I guess," the driver agreed after a moment's hesitation. "And there's the way you got it fixed, too. When my wife goes to a beauty shop, she either comes out looking like a poodle, or else like she's had her hair starched. Even though your hair ain't long, it looks loose and casual. Sort of windswept. It doesn't make a guy think he'll ruin it if he touches it, you know?" "Yes, I think I do," Victoria murmured to disguise her amusement. The cabbie was so engrossed in her reflection, she had to call his attention to the traffic light. "It's changing to green." "Right," he answered in a voice that pretended he had known it all along. When the traffic ahead of him moved out of the way, he turned the cab into the drive and stopped at one of the entrances to the center. Moving agilely for a man his size and age, he was out of the cab and around to the rear passenger door to help Victoria out, assisting her with a gallantry that was more touching than amusing. "Thank you." Victoria added a generous tip to the fare. "You're welcome." He began hauling out her packages and garment boxes from the rear seat. "You want some help with this?" "I think I can manage." It took some maneuvering to slip her fingers through all the plastic grips, but she succeeded with help from the cab driver. "What time is it?" 1:30. And you tell that guy if he's upset with you for being late, there's plenty of other fellas that'd be happy to be in his shoes." "I'll remember that." This time, there was nothing distracted about the smile lighting her face. The driver started toward the entrance door to open it for her, and stopped. "What color are your eyes?" His own narrowed on her with puzzled intensity. "Gray." An audible breath of amazement came from his throat. "I never knew anybody with gray eyes before." It was said to himself as he moved to hold the door for her. "If you ever need a cab again, miss, you just call up and ask for Joe Kopacek. That's Czech." He identified the nationality of his name. "I'll remember, Mr. Kopacek," Victoria promised with a faint nod that unknowingly resembled an imperial acknowledgement. Inside the entrance, Victoria was confronted by a labyrinth of corridors connecting a multi-storied center of shops. It didn't seem to matter how many times she came to the center, she still had difficulty orienting herself. Standing by a wall was a uniformed man, a security guard. "Excuse me, could you direct me to the restaurant?" she requested with a formal smile touching her lips. "Which restaurant?" He grinned at her question. "I think there are 14 in this complex." "Lord." It was a muffled exclamation of irritation. Victoria couldn't remember a specific one being stated now, so she opted for the one where they usually lunched when they were downtown. "The hotel has a terrace-type cafe, doesn't it? Near the elevators?" "Yes." The guard nodded and pointed to the corridor on Victoria's right. "Go that way and keep to your left. You can't miss it." "Thank you." Victoria followed his directions and arrived at the open center of the complex. It was an ultra-modern area of layered, curving, rising buttresses of concrete, its bland sterility alleviated by the abundant usage of potted plants and trees. Crisscrossing walkways and escalators connected one side to the other, and one level to the next. At the bottom level was the restaurant Victoria was seeking. The impression was one of a sidewalk